Hello, everybody. Welcome. I'm Sophia Parola with the Garden State Film Festival, and here with me is filmmaker Collin Kornfeind. He has made the short film, The Gospel of Damian. Collin, thank you for joining me today.
Great, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Did I say your name correctly? Because you
You
did tell me how
did.
to pronounce it. Okay,
Yeah,
wonderful.
yeah, fantastic.
Love it. So before we get started, can you tell everybody a little bit about yourself and your short animated film?
Sure. Like you said, my name's Collin Kornfeind. I've been a filmmaker for about 16 years now, and uh, I am a producer at the National Hockey League as my day job. And during the height of the pandemic, just looking to create some independent stuff, some scripts that I had sitting around, and decided that this is going to be the one that I'm going to do. So went
Wow.
after it. I hired a animator that I found online in Mexico City, actually, and we started chatting. And he liked this storyboard and this script. And 4 months later, and a little bit of audio design, we got it done. So it was a great time, great way to pass the pandemic.
Wow, absolutely. And what was your inspiration for writing this film and coming up with all the animations? I know you didn't do the animations, but you collaborated with Isaac in
Yes,
Mexico City to make it. So
Isaac
yeah, what
was
was your inspiration?
well, I've never done an animated short, but I had this idea just palling around for a while. So I figured this was the right time to do it. And that's why I leaned on Isaac and his expertise. I had some loose sketches of characters, but the idea was probably about 10 years ago, like just kind of doing brain exercises. One of my favorite topics to discuss is like how religion and the process of belief is largely unquestioned in our society. It's kind of just established that once there is some kind of religious dogma set up, that it seems unflappable. And then when new religions pop up, like how Scientology did a couple of years ago, everyone looks at it very strangely as like, how could you just invent a new religion? And it's like at some point, religion is always invented. It just takes longer to catch on and become dogmatic. And so I had this idea about a 90s goth kid, Damian, who has his manifesto buried in his backyard, and thousands of years in the future, aliens unearth it and they take it as a sacred document. And
Mm.
so the whims and the anxieties of a 90s goth kid become a religion seemed something that was funny, but also introspective about our
Yeah.
process of belief.
Absolutely, so unique and obviously a huge, huge metaphor, if that's the right word, or message behind it. I love that. So,
Yeah.
I mean, how long did it take for you and Isaac to come up with this look? How did that collaboration work? And yeah, how long did this take to create?
Well, when I posted the ad for it, like seeking animators, they obviously had to submit reels and work samples. And he had this very almost like Daria, if you ever like know that show. Yeah.
So wait,
So
that's the first. I wrote that down because as soon as I saw the goth guy, I was
yeah.
like, oh my god, this reminds me of Daria. Oh, I love that.
Yeah. And I like that too, because it felt like the bold outlines, like very expressive gestures, and he had a really good sense of color palette as well. And so all of these things played together just seemed like a good fit. And then after meeting him over Zoom, I was like, yeah, let's do it. So it was nice.
And how long did it take for him to create this animation and you guys to make this film finalized?
Soup to nuts, it was probably 4 months. Yeah.
Wow,
So like
that's a lot
loose.
faster than a lot of other animators I've talked to doing
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. It was the benefit of the pandemic and nothing else to do
Right.
that he was able to just, send him some money and sat in his apartment, much like I did, and just kind of worked. So.
Wow. So tell me about the music. I loved the music complementing this film and a lot of the sound effects because obviously there's no dialogue. Tell me how you guys found the sound.
Yeah, so T the Human, who did the music for this, that is actually my brother, Taylor Kornfeind. And I told him that this kid needs to be a fan of The Cure. And obviously, I wanted a Cure song that everybody knows. And so we riffed on Boys Don't Cry. In the beginning, you hear a very loose sound alike of it over his Walkman ear or headphones. And then in the future, I just told him use it as a launching point, but make it seem like it's something that is futuristic enough that it isn't Children of Men level, like foreign soundscapes, but it is music of an alien race. So using that as a launch point, he came up with this. And that's one of the reasons I can still keep on watching this project, because it's just what he created. Like the music track that he did, like absolutely slaps. And I really
It
like it.
does.
Yeah.
It does slap. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. And I mean, so looking back at this process, what was the best part for you? And to piggyback, what was the hardest part?
Ooh.
Good question.
The best part of it was being able to collaborate in such a way with somebody that I've never met. Uh, there's a lot of, pride and ownership that comes with filmmaking, and a lot of sacrifice and collaboration that you have to do, where you're taking other people's opinions and trying to take into account of other craftsmen and their expertise. But this was a whole new ball of wax, where it's like, I've never met this person. He's going off of like PDF storyboards that I have and a script. And just to be able to give up your baby in a way, the script that I gave him, just be like, I want you to run with it and just see what you can create, and I'll have some notes, but this is going to be as evenly leveled of a creative experience as I've ever done. So that was probably the best part, to like, whenever I would get an email from him and it would just be like wireframe number one, I'd be like, oh my God, I can't wait for like, what's wireframe number one gonna look like? And it just kept on getting better from there as we're getting into like shading and lighting and all those things. So that was the best part. The worst or hardest part, honestly, this is probably one of the easiest projects I ever did. I don't even think that I have a hardest part of it.
Wow. That's
Like,
crazy because looking at the film, I would think it was hard to make, very challenging. So that's
yeah,
great to hear.
animation usually is, and I definitely don't want to take away from any other animators who are saying like this is long slogging hours. But when I'm just like on the directing side and not the
Right.
actual animating side, it wasn't too difficult.
Wow.
But I guess if it was the hardest part, is that being in lockdown again, the only female voice talent that I could get onto a microphone was my girlfriend, and she has never acted in anything before. So getting her to inhabit the role of a alien voice and just do a bunch of beeps and honks and layer those tracks in, she got very embarrassed at like having to
She was
just
great.
make
Shout out to
wild
her.
noises.
It
shout out to
sounded very good.
shout out to Christine. She's a good female alien. Yeah.
Wow, absolutely. Put that on your resume, Christine.
Yeah.
So I would love to ask you how you heard about the Garden State Film Festival, and how do you feel having the Gospel of Damian screen this year at the 20th anniversary? It's a huge year.
It's awesome on many levels, but very much a personal level, because they are the first film festival that I was ever in uh, and received an award in when I was in high school in 2004. I won Best High School Short. So I'm 34 now. So being a junior in high school and getting that award was just set me off on a path of believing that I could do it. Like going to the awards gala when you're 17 years old, and I met Frank Vincent from The Sopranos, who was there getting an honorary award, and I met Diane Raver, who is still a great champion and supporter of mine. And it's just immeasurable the amount of like confidence that that gave me as a young filmmaker. And I had a second film of mine play there a couple of years ago, I think in 2012, and this is my first time back since then. So it's awesome, always a comeback. It's always a great hospitable vibe. And now that I'm actually dating somebody who's from Asbury Park herself, it's a nice homecoming, and I will be able to have all of her relatives and family members show up. So it'll be a nice
Yes.
environment.
Wow. Well, I'm so happy to hear that you and her, the famous alien voice, and all her family will be there at the screening. That's amazing. And beyond happy to hear that you received an award in 2004 and you're back 2022. That is insane. It shows how long, Garden State Film Festival has been around, and also how it impacts filmmakers' lives. So thank you for sharing that, and thank you for creating this amazing creative film and submitting to the Garden State Film Festival.
Absolutely. No,
Congratulations.
no,
Wow.
thanks so
So,
much.
last question. What are you hoping audiences at the festival get out of watching the Gospel of Damien?
Hopefully some good laughs. Hopefully, and they'll keep the song in their head and they'll ask where they could get it afterwards. And if beyond the laughter, I hope it's a little bit of introspection about our own human condition and process of belief. But that might be a stretch
Absolutely.
for a late Saturday night screening. So just the laughs and the song would be good. Yeah.
I love that. And is there a place where we can see the music or get the music? Any shout outs for your brother's music?
Yes, yes. Go to Instagram, look up T the Human. That's the letter T and then the human. No fancy spellings. But you can also follow my channel for updates on the festival, and we can put links up there at Meaningless Films.
I love it. Collin, congratulations to you and everyone involved. Isaac, you are an amazing animator, and you guys created something that is really, really enjoyable. So I'm really happy that the audiences at the Garden State Film Festival get to watch it. Congratulations. Yeah, let me tell everybody watching how they can see the Gospel of Damien. You can check it out virtually no matter where you are. Visit gsff.org for tickets. Or if you're coming to Asbury Park to see it in person, perhaps meet Collin, you can check it out at Berkeley Hotel in the Continental Ballroom, 10 to 11:30 p.m. I am sorry because I did not write the date for some reason. So definitely check out the grid. It's going to be Saturday or Sunday. Do you happen to know, Collin?
The 26th, yeah,
It's
Saturday the 26th,
Saturday,
yeah,
March
at 10
26th.
p.m.
Thank you, Collin.
And I will be there and definitely hanging out. So yes, come and say hi.
Yes. Awesome, guys. Thank you, Collin. Thanks, everybody, for watching, and we'll see you at the festival.